Hello, hello, welcome to my garden. Such a beautiful spring day here in April. I think that you can probably hear that the birds, they are singing, the sun is shining and all the plants are growing so fast. Many gardeners talk about weeds and you could also call it unwanted plants. But in this little film I would like to talk about my garden, which I call not a weed-free garden, but a weeding-free garden, and I will try to explain. If you would like to have a weeding-free garden, you need to plant very, very dense, and this is almost my trademark. I don't want to see bare soil. Of course, in the winter time and in the early spring, you will see bare soil also here in the woodland garden. But now it's April, and in just few weeks, the soil here will be completely covered. A great ground cover here in the spring garden is Allium ursinum. And we have the forest here, and there are Allium ursinum millions of flowers when they are in bloom. And you probably maybe know the plants. It's a garlic smelling plant, but I also need to be honest that it can be a little bit too much with all these Allium ursinum. But what I try to do when I'm planting in the woodland garden, where we have all these Allium ursinum, I try to find strong plants, and I will make a presentation of some of them, some small beauties. The little wild primrose is such a beautiful plant just now, and it's a quite strong plant. And we also have daffodils here in the woodland garden, and I would like to talk about weeds. I think that you will agree this is a terrible plant. This is ground elder. We have ground elder here, and it's a quite problematic plant. Okay, if you plant dense, you can overshade it, but you need really to take care of this. We also have the little plants Ficaria verna. You probably know this, but I think it's okay because it will go dormant in the beginning of June. It will just disappear. But you have probably seen pictures from my garden later in the season, and there you can see that I don't have bare soil, and I know that many people they found it a bit difficult how you can plant so dense. This is what you could call a half-shaded woodland garden. Nearer to the forest there are more shade, but in the outskirts of the woodland garden you have more sun, and therefore I can also grow peonies. See these, and I especially like the foliage and the shoots, and then you can just press here and feel if they are pregnant. I can feel now that there are small buds here. In the woodland garden I also have many shrubs, and they are also very easy to grow in a dense planting because they are quite strong. And this is tree peonies, and here you can also see the buds. In the woodland garden I also have small trees. I have Japanese maple, and then I have the curly hazel here. I would like to say that in my garden shrubs, they are quite important. But you can see here they are still bare soil, but as I have said before, in few weeks the soil here will be completely covered. And here is also a little beauty. It's still in buds. This is Lathyrus vernus, a sweet pea, and this is a quite strong perennial coming back year after year. And see here, I think I really love a site like this. See the daffodils here, and the peonies, and the smyrniums, and this is a yellow-leaved, a chartreuse-leaved Antriscus sylvestris. This is an umbellifer, and I just love umbellifer plants. In the bottom of the garden later there will be hundreds of Antriscus sylvestris ravenswing. This is also a quite wild plant, but I just love when they are mingling together with all the other perennials. Lilium martagon is also a great plant in a dense planting, and in short time you will see the buds here. It will get turban formed flowers, and it's also a very strong plant which will come back year after year. And I can tell you, and this plant is also self-seeding. And then of course we have Helleberus ointhalis. See this, and this is especially nice form. You can see the middle here. This is an anemone-formed Helleberus. And we also have the small tete daffodils here, and you can see we plant them so there are just some few around, and I would say that my biggest inspiration is the nature. I am trying to make natural plantings, of course here in the woodland garden, but also in the borders. And once again I would like to mention the hedges. Also here in the garden we have sitting places. You can see this old bench here, and if you sit here you can take a look here, and then you will just see at the end of the path here you have a little point the view. And yes, you can see it's such, as I say, it's such a beautiful time, and it's I just want to be outside, and I think that I can see the plants grow day for day. And we also need to stop, but I will show you this Fritillaria melagris, the snakehead lily, and here you will have ferns, and they are also starting to sprout. You can see here. Maybe you think that the soil here looks quite sandy, but I can tell you that from the beginning the soil here was very clayish, but you can see we have the path here with sand, and every early spring Preben, my gardeners, he take a layer of this into the borders and give it a new layer so it looks very fresh. It was a little tour in the woodland garden, and I promise that I will come back in a few weeks. I think that you would maybe like to see more, and at that time I will promise you that the soil here in the woodland garden is completely covered. Thank you so much for watching.